Hey dudes, welcome to my channel. For today's video, we're definitely going to be doing something different from what we've been doing lately. Instead of playing a Love Nikki game, we're going to be doing a DIY. So for this DIY, we're going to be doing a Peter Pan themed kind of mason jar. So for this project, you'll be needing pictures, depending on whether you decide to do Peter Pan or other themes. Mason jars, paint, Mod Podge, probably an X-Acto knife if you feel like you want to be more on the edge, and scissors and paintbrushes. Of course, we can't forget about it. So the first thing we want to do is that we want to use the X-Acto knife or the little scissors to cut out the picture. I like using the X-Acto knife because I could get into those sharp edges like around the mouth and the nose and the hair, so it helps me out a lot and makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Next, we're going to be preparing the mason jar and just having it ready and set for when we're going to measure the pictures and make sure that everything fits inside. This is very important because if the picture doesn't fit, everything's not going to work out the way that you want it to. So here we see that we measured it out and that everything fit, and I wanted to put it double-sided, so it's going to be a two-image kind of thing, and I wanted to make sure that they all fit in there. So I kind of measured out and I made sure that everything was fine, that I didn't have to make any cuts or anything. So for the next step, I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay in place before I started to glue it down, because once you glue it, it's going to be very difficult to take it out. So now we're going to start the process of Mod Podging everything. To use Mod Podge is very simple. It's just glue with water. So just make sure that you use a brush to apply the Mod Podge, because you don't want to overdo it. Here we see that I had already test run 1 to make sure everything was fine, and it worked out incredible. It stuck out really well and it never fell out throughout any of the points of the process. So now, like how you can see, I'm going to dip my brush into it. I'm going to go little bit by little bit, because I don't want to overdo it and I don't want to overfill it up with glue. Of course, since I was using one hand, it is a little bit difficult, so that I am sorry there will be some scenes in the video that might get skipped. So now that we have the whole entire Peter Pan filled with Mod Podge, I let it dry for a couple seconds. I didn't let it dry for too long, I just wanted it to be a little bit stickier, and I stuck it on. So to make sure that it sticks to the glass, make sure that you have it in the right place where you want it to be, and you could either use your fingers if your hand could fit inside, or a brush tip, the part that's not sticky or dirty, to make sure that everything goes right into position. Like you see here, I had to use my brush tip end to be able to make sure that the Peter Pan was able to be sticking and it wasn't going to be falling off. So for the next step, I just wanted to make sure that I could get Wendy inside, so I just repeated the same steps over again, just with the Wendy character, and I made sure that she was also in position, ready to go to be able to make the next conclusions. Here we see how it looks back and front, and I know that in the movie Peter Pan, he doesn't give her a button, but I wanted to do like a cute thing, like, oh, Peter gave her a button, but she gave him a kiss. Those pictures, I found them online, and I found them on what's the painting website? When I find out the name, I'll insert it. I forgot now for some reason. So here's what it's looking as of right now, and I want to attach some yarn to it because I want to make it look a little bit rustic. And attached to the yarn, I got it from the I got that one from Michaels. Dollar Tree does carry it as well, but I think that specific yarn, I got it from Michaels. The flowers though, I did get the flowers from the Dollar Tree because I only needed the green parts of it. For it, you're just going to stack up one leaf on top of the other to make sure that it's a little bit with volume, and you're just going to attach it to the string. The string, to make sure that it's in place, you want to make sure that there's not a lot of gaps between, so just make sure that it's tied around the jar and hot glue it. For the next jar, we're going to be doing a rainbow themed one. So same process, get the Mod Podge and put it all over the rainbow. Make sure that it's sticky enough that once you insert it into the jar, it won't be falling off. The jar, I started out with a clean slate, and this is me trying to measure because I forgot to measure beforehand. So let's hope, yeah, it fit perfectly fine. I remember I had a little bit of struggle at first because my nails were getting in the way, but everything works out for the best. So once you make sure that it's completely dry, I was going to make the other side the two silhouettes of Wendy and Peter Pan, because this is supposed to be when they get to Neverland and they're traveling over the mermaid scenes. And at first it was a little bit difficult getting them to fit because I didn't measure how big the rainbow was compared to the heads. So it was a little bit of adjusting, but once I figured it out, I Mod Podged the two silhouettes and I put them inside. So this is how it's looking so far without the paint, and the next step I want to do was I want to create clouds, because this is like them being in the sky. Now this process was a little bit difficult because drawing inside the jar wasn't the best. So I recommend you could either use a brush or a little makeup wipe or a little pad. And that's how it will look from the inside. You're also going to be doing that outside, but the inside. So for the sky, I combined a little bit of blue and white to make a little bit of blue. Once we have it painted light blue, we're going to make sure to clean all the edges because we're going to be removing the Peter Pan and Wendy silhouette that we had on the inside, and it does get a little bit messy. Next up, we're going to decorate the jar, and this was a decoration that I did for it. I did some flowers and some jewelry. Obviously, you could do whichever you find more pretty for it. For the last jar, we're going to do a starry night for when Peter Pan and Wendy flew off to the North Star. So we're going to start off with a clear jar, and we're going to start by drawing little stars on the inside with white paint. Make sure that you do as many stars as you want, and you're going to get blue, purple, and black to create an ombre effect through the whole jar. Sadly, I didn't record this last part because I just didn't have video footage of it, and we're going to decorate the jar as we do for the sush. Now the last part is just I am going to be showing you guys the finale of how everything turned out, and these are my 3 jars. For the Peter Pan and Wendy jar, we're going to be filling it up with kisses. For the Starry Nights, we're going to be filling it up with Twix. And for the rainbow one, we're going to be filling it up with Skittles. The quotes, sadly I didn't include them either as well. I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit of a mess. But the quotes are, like I said earlier, for the one of Wendy kissing Peter in the first movie of Peter Pan, Peter gave Wendy, is it a tumbo? I forgot what it's called, but in Cuba it will be translated into un botón, and in English as a button. So I just thought it would be a cute idea, and that's why the whole entire side is decorated with buttons. And the quote for that jar is gonna be, Peter gave Wendy a button whilst Wendy gave Peter a kiss. The second one is gonna be the famous line that says, oh, like the Neverland is to the North Star, or the second biggest star, and that's why we have a little mirror in one of the stars. And the last one is like oh yeah, sorry, and I forgot. And the quote for that one is, I believe it was something along the lines of, you are the right star to my Neverland, and it's gonna be with Texas instead, like how I said. And lastly, the rainbow jar is gonna be filled with Skittles, and it's gonna say, since you came into my life, it's been filled with colors. And that's just everything how it came out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I know that this probably sucks, but it is my first DIY video, so hopefully the next one will be a lot better. Well, thanks for watching.